Hello everyone, welcome to the AMA today about talent management and business strategy for tech startup. And we are thrilled and we are happy to have a special guest from MindX, a leading education technology startup in Vietnam. MindX just recently completed their fundraising round and closed at 15 billion Series B, and that is really a good news. And so we're excited to invite the person who behind that success today to help us share his experiences and insight into the role of talent management and hiring in the fundraising process. So let's welcome Mr. Wang Nguyen, who is the fundraising manager from MindX. He will share his expertise and answer the questions today. And welcome Juan. Let's just give him a round of applause. Hello Juan.
Hello, so thank you for having me here today. It's a good opportunity for me, and happy to be here to share with our own experience in the last fundraising round with all our good friends. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So first thing first, we have to say congratulations on successfully secure that fundraising round. Could you please tell us more about that recent news? Like how many you raised, the investor info, and what were your overall thoughts like after that fundraising time?
Yeah, so it took us quite a while, around like 6 to 8 months to complete the rounds. So we also, expected that because in the last round, Series A, we raised 3 million, and this round we raised 15, so 5 times larger. So we know that it won't be easy. So in this round, we also have like many investors coming like from different backgrounds, different countries. So it's also quite a challenge to like get alignment with everyone, with all the stakeholders. But right now, I think like after we have like come through everything, the 50 millions can be like a good boost for us to like energy boost so that we can like be more confident with the like aggressive growth milestones, and also with the new strategic partners. Many of them have experience in the industry that we expect to expand further in the futures. That would be like also like a good adding to the team. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. As a lot of our audience right now is also startup founders and startup co-founders, CEO, CTO, and we both understand that like fundraising is one of the most important thing that the vital for a survival of startup. And I know that like that results are the outcome of a lot of factors. So what do you consider to be the most important factor that helped you to achieve that success during the fundraising process?
For the most important factors, I think so. First of all, is the product market fit. So in our case, we have like experienced that developed the like the quite difference of the products in the market. So like receive a lot of traction and the good feedbacks from the customers. So the market is also quite fragmented. There's no significant players. So the market is there, the product hit it. So I think that's also very first important things. Also the second things is about the people. So in the last round, we go through a lot of the scannings with the management team, reviewing, and also the key members in during that in very intensive fundraising rounds also play like crucial roles for us in preparing for everything. And the last, I think, is the business result, because the more the better the business results, the more confidence the companies in the fundraising rounds. So from our point of view, we think is the best way to raise a investment round is not like actively seeking out the investor when you're running out of the money, but instead if the business is going well, it would be like more of the attractive company to investor rather than like burning too much and really have to seek for the cash to keep going on.
Thank you. So you mentioned 3 points, that the two factors, which is product market fit, the people, and the business result, correct? And you mentioned that people is one of those factors. Like, is there a story behind, or like something that make you say so? Something that bite your statement? Could you share a story?
Yes. So I think because so there are some ideas. So first of all, it's my axis. We teaching. So our product is educations. We teach the core of the company is like human-centric startups. So it's also quite important for us to if we have good teams and we can really nurture the talent, it's really strengthened the core values of the teams. Like many of the Mike's alumni, they've been learning in MindX, and then they come back to again become the key members, the teachers of the MindX. So it's very important to nurture the talents, and they can come back and strengthen the core values. And also, I think having a talented team can also increase the successful rate of fundraising rounds is more attractive to investor that the founders, especially the co-founders, is hard rock solid co-founders, and also like they attract the people the same like them. So after all, it's like just the teams is the one who actually deliver the result. There's some of the I think there's some example for during our fundraising rounds in this. So first of all, is I think in the our fundraising rounds, the lead investors and other following investors care a lot about the people. We have like the procedures, interview very deeply with top management team to really like seek out for their skills, for their enthusiasm, especially the I think the culture alignment. The second is yeah. So there's a story like this. The story like this. We are not we there's when we're starting out the companies there was bigger players in the market by a big tech company. So they do a lot of investment in the industry. It's difficult for us to compete by them because we come with no resources, just bootstrapping everything from scratch. But right now we come from behind. We came from behind, but right now we are the market leaders because like when we continue to expand to new market, and while we're doing so, the whole team, the founders, the management team move from one place to another. Sleep and eat in the floors in every location we open, so that we can make sure that we understand the local customers, and also we can really learn how to win the market share in the local market. So market by market, we win it, and that's why we become the national market leaders in Vietnam right now. So our investor keep repeating this story over and over again. After we close the rounds, they really like the attitudes and the energy of the team.
Yeah. So that's about like the investor they cares a lot about the founding team members and the managers, right? But
Yeah.
how about the tech team? Like you provide training for the developers. Just whether your service is education, your core service is education, right? So in an educational tech startup like MindX, and how the tech team contribute to the whole fundraising process.
Well, the in our case, the tech team is I think it's also quite important because um, as you can see, the 15 million round is in Series B is not like an early stage startup. So in this round, the investor will require like a lot of data, a lot of data to like to really prove out the models, not just an ideas, but we need to result to strengthen the models, and we have every pitches we delivers. So in that case, so for example, in every month we have thousands of customers. So the numbers pile up like after 2 3 years. In last 2 3 years, it can up to hundreds of thousands of the customers. So the tech team roles here is they have us to gather all the data is theirs so that we can like be more is more organized, so that we can like demonstrate to the investor during the due diligence process. And also it's helped a lot so that we can like dig deeper in these data with the like insightful business analysis, so that we can convince the investor better. So in that way we can secure the fundraising route, and also help us to protect our valuations. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so from what I understand, your tech team, your tech product would be mostly to serve internally rather than provide a tech product to the end user. Is that correct?
Yeah, so that is the case in MindX, but I also talking with some other tech players in the industry, and with some other players also the tech team even like contribute like some even like more of the importance level of importance than just the backbone systems. So yeah, in some of the companies, the other edtech companies, the tech team also involved in the developing the products. Can be like an applications, can be like a smart way to learn everything's online. So in those companies, even like the tech team is, they also have to involve deeper in the business. They have to really have the strong skills, and also really understand the core problems that the tech teams is really solving, the company is really solving. The investor usually have very deep and interviews with the tech teams.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right, right. So like for our team, for our service, we provide like we have startup like you to hunt. I mean to hire developers as well. And one of the feedback, I mean the comment that we get from them, like the developers usually they prefer to work with a company that have built a tech product for the end user rather than to work on like an internal system or internal product for the company itself. So how did you attract the tech talent to build your team?
Yeah, is for the tech talents is also like some of the challenge that we faced. So because you can see here, I said what we're doing is quite new. We have the product market fit, but the market is quite fragmented. It's the kind of the blue ocean market. So not much of the people has been doing this. And so it's also a good opportunity for the company to grow, more room to grow. Also, on the other hand, it's difficult to find the right people because there were, not much of the people with experience that we need. So during that time, we think the best way is to back to the core values of the companies. So we try to recruit like the people with the not perfect skills but right attitudes, and also like strengthen them, nurture them in our core values, so that they can like improve and be a key member of the teams. And also another things I think is um, during that time, so that we can it's very urgent for us to build up a strong teams. So we also have to rely very much on other agencies, so that we can like help us to build up the teams, especially the tech team, because it was like hugely competitive to find a good one and suitable with our cultures. So we work with the Mike's job teams, so that they can like help us to navigate the right guidance with the not only for the skills but also for the culture fit, that we can like fasten and accelerate all the process.
Okay, and thank you for that. So to clear the things for our audience, MindX is a big group, and we have some like P&Ls below. And MindX Jobs is a P&L from MindX, but we like work kind of independently, and we help each other to in the business process and operation. Okay, and thank you Juan for sharing. So it's inspiring to know that like what you want to help MindX to leverage the talent team and like support in the fundraising process. And it is safe to say that like people is one of the most important factors in fundraising. Is that correct? I think we can go deeper into the success. I mean into that topic. So could you please give an example of like a successful talent hiring or management strategy that has helped you to achieve that fundraising goal?
Mm. Yeah. Uh, so as we share, so from our side, very much is about the culture of it and how the founders wills can be inspired and delivers to other team members so that we can all share the same goals and the same energies. I think it's very important things. So we have a story,
Yeah,
quite story like this.
we
So
love story.
yeah. So while we do the management in team interview, so the first one who do interview is CEO. He's one of the co-founders, and then we do with the investor asking about the company cultures. So he said like one of the cultures key attributes to the company culture is the winning mentality. So the motto is like play to win. Really aim for it and try our best for it, no matter what. Then the investor have independent meetings with the COO, which is also another co-founders, and they're asking the same things. And then with the sales managers, they're asking the same things. So throughout all the meetings, they keep asking to see like whether the core values has been displayed and shown in different ways or in different people, different ranks in the organization. Even like they come to one of our offline locations, they do an interview to a ordinary sales staff, and I was going with them, and to be honest, I was a bit concerned by then because not sure the ladies the sales was like confident or they can deliver the right answer or not, because we didn't prepare anything for her. So she said something like, so the investor asking like, what is your biggest dreams right now, and how you plan to gonna do it. She answers in this way. So right now, because we're coming from Hanoi and we're expanding to Ho Chi Minh in the last years. So she said, right now I'm from Hanoi, and I know that the company is expanding aggressively in Ho Chi Minh. I love challenge. So if I want to like dream of anything, I would dream that I'll be in Ho Chi Minh right now, building up the team and trying to test new market, so that can help us to win that market. So that answers, I believe, is strongly nail the investor, because like throughout the whole organization, the founders, the managers, even the sales staff, everything says the same thing about the willingness to win. So that is one of the key things that will help us to win the investor in last round.
Mhm. Well, I think that's a tough question too. Like when someone asks you what's your dream, right? And even if the investor asks you that, and if your answer will like affect to the fundraising process for the whole company, I think these are tough questions. So basically, like the investor, they cares a lot about the consistency of values between employees and the people of the company, right? And I think, well, that's one of the thing. That's the hiring can and the talent management will play a vital role, right? So, do you face any difficulties or any challenge when you align with the talent hiring and the talent management with the fundraising process?
Well, yeah, because I used to say something like this with my boss. So when it comes to humans, it's only miserable. So it's all miseries. So it's very difficult to work with someone, let alone that they can work in the same way, the same targets that you do. So in the last round, we really have to do the challenge in building up the teams so that we can ready for everything. So because the company is growing very fast. So in MindX overall, we grow like nearly triple every year. So the recruiting, building the team is always a challenge for us. So if you're asking me if I have like more times in the preparation for the fundraising rounds, I think we can push more on the talent recruitment, probably working deeper with the agency, because as much as you said, the recruiting is about the right people. So probably with the agency that can understand us deeply, they can provide us with not just the guy that with the right skill, but also the right attitude, the right values. So yeah, to sum up, the challenge is mostly is about the human recruitings and how. So if we have more plans in the last round, if we had it, I think we would spend the most of the time in building up the teams. And so because also another thing is like after they joining the team, take some time and efforts to help them to integrate in the team, that we can work in the same way that we has been doing.
Okay, thank you. So you say like I put job, I put you. There's a pain, right? But after that pain comes the result, and 15 million for Series B. I think in this like how say we people say that in the winter of fundraising, like, but you still secure that, so you get my respect.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you a lot for your sharing. Is I'll say it's about time. We still have a few minutes left before we end our AMA session. And I think a lot of our participants here, a lot of CEO and founders would have just really helpful. So this is a little private. I would like to ask you like, what is the next step of MindX? Following your successful fundraising round, like what you're gonna do with the fund, particularly in terms of talent acquisition and management.
Yes. So right now, MindX is growing very aggressively, around like 2-3 times every year. So of course, like after probably all the business managers and the founders know that after you receive like a new fundraise, the KPI only go increase, only go increase. So right now we trying to keep the momentum, keep growing aggressively, and especially because so there's something like this, because in our industry is quite new. Even like the market is there, the customer had a lot of demand for the product, but the resources is quite limited. For example, the teachers, the sales teams, the tech guys, it's difficult to find the people with experience in the area that we want. So I think, for example, in the teachers, in the next years, if we want to triple our numbers, we have to triple the teacher teams. So sometimes is not feasible within the years in a short amount of time. So the team is really have to looking for, I think, the smarter ways to solve these problems, the growth bottleneck. And so one of the ways doing it is we can rely more on the technologies. So we can plan to develop some of the internal technologies, artificial intelligence, and also some of the automations, so that we can increase the efficiencies of the teams and even explore some of the new business model for us to resolve this bottleneck. So in that way, once again, we have to come back with the tech team, because in the last part, I think we share about right now the MindX tech team is helping us to building the core, the backbone system. But in the next couple of the months, actually the team has been doing now we building the even like the internal system. I think up to 5 systems this year to increase the efficiency of the teams, optimize the business result. We focus mostly on the top lines, and so of course there can be some cost that incur over that, but we have to sacrifice that. For example, we like I think we also like to collaborate with more of the need more help in the job matchings and recruiting and everything. Probably like working with some of the key strategic agency for help us to accelerate all of the recruitment process. It can take some cost, but I think it's good to the company growth, because if we can keep like the in the startup is the most important about the keep the momentum of the growth, keep the top lines booming, so that you can still have the increasing the company valuations, and also keep attracting the new fundraising round. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. So to secure the funds is just the first step for a new battle, right?
Yeah, it's like it's always resetting the games. Like after you try like work, the whole team work really hard to try to achieve the KPI, to complete the fundraising, and it's hitting the reset button, and we start a new game in the difficult levels, more difficult levels. But the whole team is excited about that. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Thank us a lot. I think there's still time for one last questions, and for this, I think a lot of our participants here, they would like to ask you to, like, let me put it this way. So the past is the past, but if you can redo 3 things about your hiring, about your fundraising, then what would you do?
3 things. So if I can come back to the time that we started the fundraising route, even like before that, a couple of months, I would say the top 3 things would be people, and people.
Wow.
So I think in the fundraising rounds, probably you already know this, like it's not just about the pitchings and drinking. It's more on the problem solving. It's like a lot of issues and a lot of challenges like pop up along the ways, and you need to solve it. So I think one of the best ways to solve this problem is to prevent it systematically. So the reason why I say people is like I realize the majority of the problem has been prevented, could have been prevented if we have the right guy in the right place. If we have like seniors, experienced key members in the right place at the beginnings, they can help us to prevent or foresee that problems, so that we can like more active in solving it. And also in the fundraising rounds, there can be many issues that can come up. You can know that when a senior management team is like behind your back, you'll be much more confident in solving all the even like high, it's very high KPIs, or is the problems about the financial results, the legal systems, the products, everything. I think just if we get the right people there, it would confident to solve any problems.
So if you reduce the past, it still will be with people and people and people, right? So the right people will do the right thing, and the right people will get you to the right place. Well, that's really interesting to hear. I think it will be about time to finish our AMA today. Thank you for sharing your insight and your experience with on the talent management, talent hiring, and the fundraising for the startup. And your insight is really helpful, and it's really invaluable to our fellow startup founders, startup CEO, and CTO here today. We appreciate your time and your expertise, and we hope to see you again in the next AMA. Maybe we'll talk about something else, like deeper into the fundraising process or how to deal with the investor, right?
Yeah, so thanks for having me here. Once again, love the opportunity to sharing with of the good friends about the fundraising. I think that is one of the things, one of the pains and also the joys that of the business teams, the buyers, the investor relation teams, all us sharing together. So it's good that if I can have anything here.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Juan. So our audience, thank you for joining today. This is the end of the AMA. Unfortunately, we will not gonna have a Q&A. So please direct your questions to email or leave it in the comment section, and we will help you to direct it to our speaker. And thank you for joining again. And if you're interested in exploring the potential Vietnamese developers and expert opinion on tech talent recruiting, so make sure to follow our fan page, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and podcast. We usually regularly update a lot of news and insights onto tech talent hiring. And thank you again for your time, and we see you in the AMA next time. Have a good day.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you.